Hello, hello, hello. I have gotten several questions over the last couple of weeks on how to really optimize stories. And some even people are asking me just like, how do you make stories in general? There's been a lot of changes on the Instagram app and things have moved around. And so it's gotten a little bit confusing. So I'm actually going to share the screen with my iPhone so that you can see me going through the process of creating an Instagram story. You can also share it to Facebook stories, and then also really how to optimize it and how to get the most out of stories. So as many of you know, stories disappear after 24 hours, but there are a few ways to make them live longer and also optimize your posts and your reels. And so I am going to share my screen now and dive right into that. And if you have any questions, drop comments below and I'll be back to check in on those questions. So if we go to, there's Maisie, hey, shout out. So if you go to your Instagram app, you will see in the top left-hand corner, it says your story. There is my picture with the plus button. So if we click that, that actually will open up a brand new window where we can create our own stories. So I can hold on this little, the white button in the bottom. I can hold on that and it will record a video, or I can simply tap it and it will create a very lovely picture of me. And so we're going to discard that, but I could record a video by just holding on the button. So testing 1, 2, 3. So you can see there that the video will just replay for me to add other elements to it. So if I hit send to at the very bottom, which I can do, and then where it shows your story, I can click share and that will post to my story. And then you see right below it in gray, it says your Facebook story. And so I could select share on the right side and it would post to my Instagram stories and my Facebook stories. I can also share just to close friends, which you can change who those close friends are. But for right now, we will just focus on stories. But I'm going to delete that. But if I were to post that, let's click out. If I were to post that, you would see a ring around my stories, just as you see on the other stories that appear at the top of the window. And you still have this blue plus mark. So once you have made a Instagram story, all you do is go back to this window and click the blue button and it brings you right back to the create screen. So let's click through a few of these options. So this first option on the left-hand side is it gives you some gradient windows and you can, it gives you a happy birthday gift. There's like different templates that they have that you can click through and use. Oh, those are fun. So see all the questions that you can ask if you want to support a nonprofit, if you have a countdown, and then even fun things like what's your top spicy food. Now you'll see at the top in the center, there are dice. So we can click that and it'll actually give us some other options. So Instagram is really trying to make it easy to allow us to ask our followers to engage with our content. So, you can click see all at the top and there's several options that they have here. So I really want you to play around with those options. Now, right below these buttons on the side, you'll see Boomerang. So it'll just pop you right over to where you could create a boomerang. We're going to remove that one as well. Then there's layout. So you can select different photos and videos to appear and you can change what the grid looks like. Multi-capture, same thing. Level will allow you to See when you have the screen exactly level. So, but most of the time you're either going to have the screen on you, or you can turn it around. The button is in the very bottom right-hand corner, which has a camera and it shows 2 arrows. So if I click that, it turns it around so that you can see the outward camera's view. And then I'm just going to show you something. If I click on the record button, you can see at the bottom that the red line is going around in a circle. And this is really timing you for those 15 seconds that you have for a story. So once it gets to the very top, you'll see it starts right back over. But right above it, you will see where it is showing that I've already recorded 15 seconds. And that's one story, and it will appear in this series. So it's showing you a second one, and now it's starting a third one. You are limited to only creating 4 of these before it will time you out and it will stop. So you will have 4 that you will then have to post. And if you have something more to say than those 4, you have to go back into Instagram stories and it will let you create 4 more. So I just want you to see that, because a lot of people will get cut off. So you kind of have to be conscious of the fact that, all right, I'm coming up on the end of my 4th one, and you'll see it cuts me off. So that is really how you create multiples of a video. And as I said, if you had closed out of it, you would just then go back into it and start recording again. A couple of other things that I want to show you. So let's just click a quick selfie. And if I want to ask a story, I just have to simply swipe up, and it gives me so many options similar to what we saw before. So I can say, hey, are you having a, let's see, what is making you happy today? And I just simply use 2 fingers, as you would when you're playing around with photos, but you just use 2 fingers to pinch it down, and it makes the window smaller, and then you just drag and move it around your window. And wherever you want to place it, then you can go back to it and see the responses from your followers. But if you want to get rid of it, we just drag it down to the bottom center. You see a trash can appears and it goes away. So you can even do fun things like this slider. You don't even have to type a question. You can click out of it. I do kind of like playing like with other emojis and doing things like that. You can also use, let's see, it lets you add any. So you could even put like this finger, and we can turn it. Actually, we would need to do a different one. Let's see. It's kind of fun, so I want to show you. I think we would need to do down. Yeah, that's what we get. Oh yeah, okay. So if you had like a fun list of items where it was like, you could say, let's just do this, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I know this does not make sense with the picture we have, but you could have like 3 options and then use the slider bar and line it up. And then you could say, what's your favorite day? Put it at the top. And then your followers, it's not going to let me interact with it right now just because I'm in create mode, but they would simply tap on the finger and slide it to whichever one is their favorite. So I really like that idea as far as like giving people different things than what you see other places. So let's tap out of it again. Actually, I'm going to show you the options at the top. The very first, so you have your X button, which is going to delete what you have created and close out. It will not post. So if you ever need that, it's there. The next one is the save button. So it's the arrow pointing down, and that's just essentially downloading it to your camera roll. So if you create a selfie and you're like, oh, I want to hang on to that because that's a good picture of me, just tap that. It will save whatever is on the screen. So if I hit that now, it would not just save the photo, it would save the text and everything on it. The next button is your music. And so you can add, now not everyone has this feature. I'm going to turn it down. So you can move it throughout the song. And then once you have found, and then you can change actually what appears, whether it's just if you want to show the lyrics and in different formats, or if you just want to show the album cover. And then once you have decided that, you tap done, and then you can do the same thing we've done with other items where you pinch it to make it appear smaller and then move it around the window wherever you want it to appear. Let's get rid of that so we don't have to listen. The next one is link. So if you have over 10,000 followers, you can link to an external site, or everyone can link to a camera effect or an IGTV video. Then you also have the filter button, which will allow you to add a filter after the fact. So you can see I'm tapping through these filters that appear at the bottom of the screen, and it shows what your photo would look like if you used some of these are so funny, used a filter on it. So we'll go with that. And then the next is those stickers that I previously showed you. Some of these items at the top, you can see location. If I had my location services on, it would allow me to see what locations I can tag nearby. You want to mention somebody, it's simply that. You can tag hashtags. And then let's keep scrolling. You can even timestamp what time you posted this. You can play around with these other items, and you can even search. So even whenever I type in the search bar, it shows you trending GIFs that are available, and you can pop those on your post as well. And then finally, the last two allow you to really add this text and drawing. So, I mean, this is essentially drawing. Something I really love, let me get rid of some of this stuff and I'll show you this. So the first option that's selected is just like a pen. The second one is an arrow. So all you have to do is swipe your finger and it creates the perfect arrow, which I love because I actually use arrows a lot and my arrows are never good. So if you just swipe, it will create perfect arrows every time. Love that. Highlight is just as it appears. So it's highlighting, it's somewhat transparent though. You've got like a neon type of writing, and then you've got the erase tool that you can go through and it will erase any of those writing things that you created. And then the text, the A's right there will allow you to type, and you just keep tapping on the screen and it will allow you to type different words, and then you just tap them with your finger and drag them where you want them to appear on the window. And again, you can size them up, size them down. That is really the types of engagement and tools that you have available within Stories. And I'm going to select out of this and I want to show you two more things. So when you are on your main page, and let's go to one of my stories, or sorry, one of my posts. So I actually just made this post. I'm going to share to my stories, and you can see the very first option, it says add post to your story. So I'm going to select that, and it automatically creates it into a story. And the viewers of my stories could tap on this and it would take them to the feed post where they could read the caption along with it. I actually love sharing my stories in my sharing my feed posts in my stories, because I actually just like to go through stories. I very rarely scroll through the feed. So this allows opportunities for people to see what posts I've made without actually scrolling through the feed. So I'm just going to click send to, and then your story and Facebook story share, and then it will say done. So now we can see, we scroll to the top, you can click on your profile picture and it will open up your stories. And you can see there, it's playing the 10 seconds of my story. So, and again, if we went back to home and I could click on your story at the top window, it is there. You can see there is a blue plus mark on my profile picture in the top left corner again. I could click that and it takes me to create another story. So that's a great way to really create a story without actually having to get on camera and create a story. Secondly, you can do that with Reels. It actually increases your views as well. So we could go to this one and we could click, you could see the third option on the right-hand side of the window is the little airplane, and that is the share to story icon. So we click that and it says add reel to your story. So we could do the same thing there if I hadn't already shared it. So those are great ways to really add to your stories. Once you've had stories, you can save them to these highlights, which you can see mine that I'm moving right now. I have really just broken it down into what I talk about the most on my stories. So let's tap into client features. And when we open it up, I can go through and really see some of the clients that I've shared on my account. And so the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see boost and more. So let's tap more and edit highlight. Now it will show me my most recent, these are all the highlights that appear, the stories that appear in my highlights. Sorry, that was hard to get out. The second option is stories, and it will show you all your past stories, and you can simply select which ones you want to appear. So we could scroll through this, and these are client features, and let's see if there's anything I haven't tagged. I don't think so. So we'll click done. And let's do one that I haven't. So testimonials. We just shared a testimonial to a story. So we could tap through and see all the past testimonials that appear under this highlight cover. And then we're going to tap more in the bottom and edit highlight and go over to stories, and it will show us the most recent one we just made. And we are going to select that and see if there's anything else. No, I think that's good. So let's hit done. And then if you kept tapping, you would see that that appears at the end of this highlight cover. So it really is helpful for potential customers when they're going to your profile. They can easily tap on one of these options and see everything in one place. So just because your stories disappear after 24 hours, they live on under these cover highlights. So make sure you're capitalizing on that feature of Instagram and really allowing anything that is noteworthy that you don't want to disappear and you would like for potential customers to see, and save it under these highlight covers. So I hope that was helpful. I know that was a lot of information, but I wanted to really give a deep dive into stories, and there's so much else we could dive into, but we will leave it at that for now, and I will talk with you all soon. Thanks so much.